Hello, and welcome to another episode of my Stars Let's Play. This is Northstar. Hope you folks are well. I, for those new to my channel, welcome. For those returning, welcome back. New folks, disabled long COVID. I get sidetracked. I sometimes think too slowly. I apologize for that effects. My streaming, I'm doing my best to try and make this entertaining at times, interesting. Because I really need my channel to get to where I can monetize it to survive. I'm disabled long COVID, and there's no way to even pay rent without eventually being able to supplement whatever I'll be able to hopefully get from SSI once my savings are low enough. It's not keeping up with rent growth, though, what's paid out on the SSI, and that's certainly not going to be fixed under the Trump administration. So, yeah, hold on a second. Genesis, I guess, named after the Ascension perk, which I'll eventually grab. When I unlock my next tradition, I want a quick review without having to go the wiki or something. What Mercantile tradition gives me, or Harmony, like what each things, and decide if I want to just rush to finish Unyielding or do that. Although I probably need to do Fortress Doctrine before that. But yeah, I'm gonna grab Sorry, did I say Mercantile? Mercantile Harmony. I think I said Unyielding back to Mercantile and Harmony. And then of course Mutation. I've discussed how I'm probably gonna do that. Something in my mind, by the way, because I try and keep things interesting by discussing a variety of topics. Came across a video. Well, I was talking in the room about the planet was dying, and then of course YouTube, because your phones, they freaking spy on you basically. Recommended the 60 minutes video about the overpopulation, the world being a mass extinction, except overpopulation is, well, it's effectively a myth. It's complicated. First of all, and I read you guys an AI overview because it actually does a good job in this case of summarizing something. But just to make a case that I'm not just pulling something on my ass, this is actually a well-known concern, something I'm going to say, so I'll just start right off with it. Paul Ehrlich is a prominent biologist, environmentalist known for his work on population growth, its impact on the environment. His 1968 book, The Population Bomb, predicted widespread famine and environmental disaster due to overpopulation. While some of his specific predictions haven't come to pass, his work has significantly influenced the environmental movement and sparked debate about population control, resource management, and the ethics of human intervention in ecological systems. Of course, that's the wrong. That's not the one I was. Google, of course. Hold on a second. Yes, sorry. Google, I swear it tries to censor stuff. So I literally had this pulled up before, and when it somehow navigated a different page, then I'm pressing button and then, or a different search, and just eliminated, wouldn't even pull up the AI overview I had before. That's a little bit, but Ehrlich's dire predictions largely failed to materialize. The book also faced criticism. This is a slightly different. While the book raised awareness about resource scarcity and environmental degradation, this is actually a different summary. Ehrlich's dire predictions largely failed to materialize. The book was also faced criticism for its alarmist tone and potential for promoting coercive population control measures, which some viewed as fascist. The book controversial solutions. Many of the proposed solutions, like forced sterilization and restrictions on family size, were viewed as authoritarian and reminiscent of fascist policies. Fascist associations, coercive population control, which is advocacy for government intervention to control population growth, including potentially coercive measures, has drawn criticism and accusations for promoting fascist-like policies. Historical context. book's publication coincided with a period of heightened awareness about eugenics and population control measures, which were associated with discriminatory and unethical practices. All right, this isn't exactly the summary I pulled up before, but essentially, the concerning thing was the 60 Minutes thing YouTube tried to show. Literally an interview with Ehrlich, and even more so, Garrett Hardin, who was a contemporary of his, were basically they were eco-fascists. Garrett Hardin coined the term the tragedy of commons, and he was like literally a neo-Nazi. He said things in favor of white supremacist organizations, and they're constantly platformed in these discussions, which of course rubs me the wrong way because someone with a biology background myself, there's legitimate concerns about carrying capacity of the Earth. But these particular pricks wanted to basically go and force sterilize people in the third world, even though the people were having the biggest impact on carrying capacity, because carrying capacity is relative to consumption. And the people with the highest consumption rates on the planet are white, rich Americans, followed by white, rich Europeans. So those are the people who need to have the fewest kids to, in the short term, stabilize the planet. Yes, eventually, if other countries have a lot of population growth and then there's migration into the rich areas, that would prevent the populations declining in rich countries, which they need to do because those countries have the biggest environmental impact. But that's something that isn't likely to have any substantial effect for like 100 years. And we're in a desperate situation where as the levels of migration from extra population pressure aren't actually going to be that much higher, and it's not likely that that will have any substantial impact on the climate catastrophe for like 100 years or more, which is way too far down the line. And by that point, these countries will have had their population growth rates fall off because, as was said at the 1974 UN Committee on Population something, by the third world countries that attended, which resisted this coercive nonsense, development is the best contraceptive. That is, people have fewer kids when countries become better developed. Yes, ecological footprint per person can increase with development if it's done in the fossil fuel intensive way it's been done before, but that's why it needs to be green development. That's why there need to be subsidies for wind, solar, hydroelectric power, geothermal power. Unfortunately, nuclear is not a sustainable solution for the whole planet because there is not enough nuclear fuel that's cost effective to extract to meet the energy needs of the whole planet for more than about a generation. We're talking like 20 years if we met. It's not enough. And people are like, oh, we'll go to thorium. Yeah, that's a limited resource too. And meanwhile, those nuclear fuels are going to be necessary for interstellar space travel someday, on top of being limited and carrying the risk of nuclear waste spills and such. Forget meltdowns for a second. Sometimes the waste storage, they'll store it underground and somewhere they think can't have earthquakes or be pierced in any way, and then it will. There've already been issues like out in Arizona with some of these nuclear fuel storage locations leaking. So it's a real issue. And it's actually very expensive. If money is a limiting factor, nuclear power is like 4 times as expensive as wind power. And people say, oh, well, if we deregulate nuclear power, it'd be cheaper. Yeah, and then it'll have a lot more accidents. The regulations exist for good reasons, and the cost that we have now for nuclear power is pretty close to the optimal cost to balance concerns and fears about accidents with actual cost effectiveness. Despite the nonsense nuclear industry constantly funds with libertarians and such to try and, oh, we need to deregulate. It's more neoliberal nonsense. Because I don't want to sit there and talk about this, I'm going to recommend an article for you guys. It's called There Never Was a Population Bomb, and it is by Emily Clancher Merchant. I recommend it. It's in bigthink.com. It's a well-written article that highlights some of the concerns, though it doesn't really highlight Hardeen's eco-fascist leanings in particular. He openly said some neo-Nazi stuff. Second Thought actually has done a good video on that and how that guy was a fascist. And Erleek said some stuff that was sympathetic to Hardeen's crap, so he's also of concern, although he was a little more careful about the things he said, but by all means he appeared to be of the same kind of persuasion. Alright, let's send the science ship up this way. Let's see. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I'll serve that. I mean, this is a way to train up the scientist, even if I don't find more anomalies. So I'm pretty tired today, and I know I took longer to talk about than I wanted because, well, I'm not thinking as quickly as I should be, and I was a little less prepared to just spit that out quick and get on to other things I should have been. I did not sleep well, and I've been having GI issues on top of that. I'm not going to talk about that. It's embarrassing and just no reason. But, yeah, my long COVID's causing me issues, GI issues and such, and insomnia, so I apologize. Didn't mean to take up so much time with all that. Genesis instead of biogenesis. And yet the song may be quite different. Alright, I got anchor here. It's pretty stable thanks to Crime Ordeal. High output thanks to Artifact Exhibition. Doing a stronghold. Got rid of the reactor district I never should have built in the bloody first place. I want to get the Technata Materials Lab very soon. The temples have some use, but let's see, I'm working towards my third civic, which will probably be Imperial Cult. Genesis Guides. Need to keep active until I uplift Pre-Sapiens I got. I really should have, actually, if I realized I wouldn't get my third civic so early, which I think you have to reform at that point, anyways, I would have delayed Genesis Guides, but, hold on, it's reprogramming something, the beeping is driving me nuts. Well, actually they were running the microwave, but, my headaches today, not great. Yeah, I'm also getting bad headaches. Oh yeah. This should actually, I think, be completed after, only needs about 1,100 more society research. So when Sujimia Secondus finishes settling, at the latest, and it would be actually a little overkill. I wasn't perfect with how I handled my research before. Not to mention it was always a little less than shipping because I wasn't running enough squires on Anchor. Instead, I was running technicians. Not the smartest. Whatever. Let's see, I'm doing my funnel. See, no, wait, I can do this city district, one more, then I can do Master Nature. Then 2 more city districts. Tangle generators. Climb cores. Generate power. Boring both distance and dimension. Geothermal. Fracking. Superheated steam and volatile pressure allow progress through control violence. Gene crops. Culture district. Yeah, I want to add a generator district to a synth, actually. After I finish the city district, then this, probably then Mastery of Nature, then a generator district, then another city, or maybe a city, then a generator. I don't know if I should have done biogenesis first and couldn't find good info on the wiki even on what the situation for it is or how quickly it progresses. This guy is surveying here. Surveying here. It's level 2 scientist who's got field manipulation, exploring. Probably actually reached level 3 just through passive XP, and this level 1 doing a graveyard expedition. Cool. Best on pause. Interestingly, I'm gonna actually end up with exactly 25 systems and 100 base energy upkeep on star bases. Minister Defense reduces 8%. Ships are actually substantial cost too, but yeah, I was considering I probably want to replace the Minister of Defense with, when I redo the council, when I get reform civics and I get that for free. Probably want to place the Minister of Defense with I could do an indexer or a Master of Guidance. The priest upkeep reduction I think affects the night job, so I might actually want that, since society research per priest also affects nights from genetic identification, so it's probably grouped the same way. I'll have to consider. Depends exactly how much research I'm doing. But yeah, one of these counselors, which can also draw from my officials and instead of my commanders, which authoritarian passive. I do have a pacifist commander, but not really high enough level anyways to have any pacifist officials. This one, Gabrielle Flores, the governor of Anchor, who reached level 4 not too long. Yeah, so she might end up on the council. She doesn't have any counselor traits, but not many do beyond my Empire Governor and Empire and Hair. Maybe Kai Shah. Oh, authoritarian. Let's see. Probably want the head of research. So it's just the Minister of Defense, and I could do the Minister of State, honestly. Well, first context piece and where this. So if I replace these two, and boop. Alright, it's probably boring to some of you guys. And Imperial Cult, which is probably the third civic, I'll take it first. Priest output that I think might affect the Knights. Prime Herald. I'll have to test it a little. But, you know, probably replace the Minister of Defense, Minister of State. Two of the special council positions, and then when I expand the council, add a third and have all three. This will probably mean pacifist representation on the council. I definitely have spirituals and authoritarian. The pacifists would really like representation. So one of these guys, I'm not gonna have militarists likely. Or this guy, he's a little old anyhow. From the Habitat of Anchor. This could be used, this official could be used to make Anchor a lot more stable. The militarists be happy. Maybe probably test out, see what second trait that person gets. Probably go for all three of these officials and only keep one. Flores is almost ready to be on the council. Rank up some maybe. I'd like to have some depth in, since I'm probably going to have a large pacifist faction for some time. They're still a lot less powerful in the militaries, though. Oh yeah, I should check something. Used to be you could mouse over a pop and see their ethics attraction, like pop specific ethics attraction. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's not that high for militarist. It must just be. It should change over time. Yeah. So it's probably a better investment to make the pacifists happy. Okay. Righteous governor, which can help with keeping control of crime on Anchor. Although just having many would reduce crime. Maybe I'll just do them in this order. This person gets it. This is actually a really good trait. Architectural interest. So start with this, then move to Lean Wade, then Grog. Don't like the faction Grog's in, but this is a very long-lived official, especially with the spare organs that species has. So they can have a heart attack and just their second heart will keep them alive, basically. Which isn't unrealistic in that there are mollusk species on Earth that actually have multiple hearts. If there was a sentient species that evolved from something like that in a different world, they probably could survive a heart attack and have their second or third hearts keep them alive, because some species have like 3 hearts. James Cook, which has very high anomaly chances here. Oh, Toba system. That's not a good allocation of stuff at all. Alright, let's redo. Boom. Boom, because the whole overshoot thing. Continental world there. I like to explore habitable worlds, so. Let's take away that system. I'll come back. Probably backtrack and do the rest of this. They do want to explore down there too. Lone Aster where it doesn't belong. I wouldn't be surprised that's a shitoid. Stay away from it, at least initially. Wait, why is there an asteroid? Oh. This is a weird planet. Why can't I can't survey it for some reason. There we go. Just the survey marker wasn't where it should be. Weird. May have to redo that, but this is loyalty about to increase. 60 loyalty. Time for a trade deal. I've heard that saw him way too many times. Doomsday, I guess that's appropriate with the world that looks like was blowing up there. I'd be surprised that was an empire with the Doomsday origin that lost their homeworld before they left it or some nonsense. Always like... Always. Shoot, I'm a little low on energy yet again. How'd I end up... Sworn I tried to trade for more. Let's do a big energy trade. That's the... I can get more stuff. Consumer goods, maybe? There's going to be some disruption of... Cool. And Anastasia Laranova is leveled up. This is one of the scientists I'm using to find anomalies. Where the heck is she again? In the pilot system. Survey speed's also useful. Woodcraft. I'll do explore. I like explorers. I like anomalies. Probably like them more in its... I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool to know you didn't miss any anomalies, sort of. Getting extra deposits and worlds and such from them, and sometimes you get unique empire events. It also makes for slightly more interesting gameplay, I think. Wait, 3 jobs on... Oh, criminal jobs. Like, 3 jobs on the acre? Just criminals. About to have some unemployed specialists. Which, yeah, they'll just demote on more squires eventually. Squires are great. They actually get better because they add to both the base outputs, their pop job efficiency, and the multipliers, their planet stability. So they, yeah, squires are really great. And the more I have, like, they get just better exponentially. Oh, let's make sure. Yeah, it wasn't running all the roboticists. Oopsie daisy. Work all the roboticist jobs in. Instant is, yeah, it's all developing. Wait, where's the... Oh. Yeah. Weeks and all has to come back for that because I'm trying to race to survey stuff. Forts either including borders or surveyed by another empire. Somebody decided to do garlic bread. I hate that. I actually like the smell. I just hate because I can't eat garlic. It makes me very sick. Now, ever since I got long COVID, I haven't been able to eat garlic or onions. I became very sick. It's just like something I can't have. It's a pleasant smell. Actually, most of the time I don't mind it. Just today I'm in a little bit of a bad mood. Seeing 60 Minutes, people are, well, I go 60 Minutes because, you know, Trump attacked them, of course, and got them basically canceled. But, they a lot of the mainstream media in the US has done some highly questionable things in terms of pushing right-wing ideas. It's ironic that they're coming under attack for not being right-wing enough, but platforming eco-fascists, fervent anti-communism, and everything they say, even now after the Cold War is over, they constantly just dissing on communism like it's easy. It's punching down, essentially, because there is no more Soviet Union and there's no one to call out their bullshit. Weak peddling on issues like Black Lives Matter, and income inequality, just shaping the whole discussion. It's often what the media chooses to even talk about in the first place that is effectively a political choice, and more it's controlled by billionaires. Yeah, it's not good that Trump is attacking the media, but the media in the US was already horribly broken. And people acting like it's a bunch of saints pisses me off. There's this attempt to try not to get it's that way so that there'll be no attempt to reform it when it's obviously damage has to be repaired, but it should be built back better, and it won't be because like the billionaires don't want that. In fact, they'll probably things are ever restored. Democratic norms are ever restored in the US. Things will probably be built back worse, not better. Current ethics attraction is supposed to improve the number of pops go to the ruling ethics, but it's not doing that, annoyingly. Though it might affect the per pop chance, which is actually the number that matters in the end. I don't know. Which does affect ethics shift rates. Save here in case I at some point change my mind about the whole strong. I doubt I will, but gives me a little time to go back and cool. I did that after I increased my consumer goods emphasis, so maybe that even makes the deal. I don't think it affects how much they value their own goods, but if it does, it might kind of led to them liking me for a favorable deal. I don't know. I don't see any favorable trade deal things, so yeah, I've always been driving hard bargains in this empire. And for good reason. They already like me a ton. I already have a ton of loyalty per month. Yeah, they're just a prosperous unification empire. Improve relations. They stopped improving relations to me. This decided they want to do something else with their envoy. Still, lots of trust. Already at max intel. Apparently they can still get more empire data. Maybe next month. Do that for a little more of their allies. Down to 30 consumer goods surplus. surplus of that was way too large, so whatever. Of course, more trade being used. Planetary deficits means even less into energy. Definitely need more technicians somewhere. Anchor is the wrong place for them because night jobs are so great. Should be trying to support as many as possible. A synth seems the logical choice. Another generator district. May not be enough though, but maybe another one. So planet's already capped out on pop growth. So in terms of use of planet capacity, it's probably more efficient. Do that rather than somewhere where any generator will cut into growth.
Anomalous readings registered.
James Cook has found unusual energy readings. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this planet. It might have been a glitch or a system, or could be a sign of something more. This is one of these. Can be any of like 6 different actual anomaly outcomes things. Let's bring in the scholar. Renata Ramirez. Help is needed. Yet again. So I'm going to put Anja Bergmeister here. He's an explorer and should survey a little faster. Probably actually want to swap her here soon because after Tara Bowman it'll be a long journey to the next place where I can survey anything. Yeah. The Riga system. I want to redo that. Map it. See, district almost done there. First contact event. We're still gathering data on the alien spacecraft that was reported in the Patria system. Yeah. It's reasonably high difficulty. 7 for first contact. This is both working in stage 3. So cautious, we'll get fewer negative events. It's not efficient. I probably actually want to do this. Well, no, because stop all short. That's fine. The right pattern.
System survey concluded.
All right. So I want my most valuable scientist immediately going for somewhere with a lot of asteroids that might be Chatoids in disguise. Whoops. Say no, I wanted to remap all 3 thing. Go. surveyed there. Survey everywhere. Maybe I should not in the reverse order. Whatever. Towards Hope's End. Alright, so yeah, population growth dynamic stuff though, that's been on my mind a lot because, well, it's so important in Stellaris. At least in the early game. Lucky I'll find the Hope's End system has warm and waiting. Probably not though. Anyhow. Let's put Drew whatever teal there. Burmeister. Yeah, Explorer, one of the nice things is Explorer taking into Tuner. Which if I'm actually just trying to make contact with other empires quick, that'll be good. Super close in text here. That's nice. Alright then. You know, this energy deficit, it's gotten to be almost catastrophic. I probably shouldn't ignore it. I can only trade for so much energy. Dealing with the food one somewhat. Alright. Pretty sure. Do this in, yeah, still maxed pop growth. So, another generator district on those. And then, this actually can add space for 3 more generator districts, but, well, the ability to have 3 more generator districts, space for 2, but I won't probably be going past 6. Probably. Wait a second. Sujimia Prime, which is an ideal generator world, is how many more months? Oh, only 5. Yeah, no, I'm not going to generate a district here. I'm going to do another city then. For sweet, sweet specialist jobs. Because I upgraded the capital. I'm like, that's too many enforcers. This should instantly demote because, yeah, they were just promoted up. It was like a grace period. No? Which I'm glad was added. It's fine, but now eventually I want 50 enforcers to get one of the 2 defense armies. Cool. To keep trading for energy, though. Oh, Synth's gonna add another. Let's see, this month. Alright. Then create the capital. Master of Nature takes a long time, so I want that first. Righty then. Definitely don't need this many enforcers. This is a chance to demote some. Cool. You can actually fine tune to the level of a single pop. Now, do this. In terms of rounding with pop job efficiency, that's the most efficient. It's probably more than enough. 22 enforcers. Cool. Specialists. Well, I'll draw the artisans from shoot. Uh, 32 enforcers. Oh wait, that leads to a 91 limit. It's 101. Okay, 1 unemployed pop, that's fine. Cool. Got any energy? Nope. Maybe a little food. Yeah, tons. You can trade for energy with other empires. Since there's already a food deficit, my food should actually be highly valued. It's not when my economy is super focused on producing food. Wrong thing. Share empire data. Claw back some of the food. Given before. I'll have to start winding up fleets soon. Which can be done quite profitably. Do 30-year leases on fleets, get resources now. The way you do that is you lease fleets for loyalty. And then for increased loyalty, and in turn increased loyalty and instant resources. Useful for your vassals. Have huge stockpiles of resources they're not actually using. You can mobilize them in your own empire if you need them. They get a fleet, which they'll be able to use for a while for power projection and reduces the number of ships they're likely to want to build themselves, hopefully. Also makes the vassal dependent on you, so if they ever try and rebel, they'll lose those leased fleets, I assume. Ironic if you end up destroying your own ships, or you could, you know, terribly, if they're starting to get rebellious, just not renew the leases, and suddenly they have a much weaker navy. Or if you do it for a monthly resource trade, cancel deals early by making sure you don't have those resources. That's another way. Of course, then they'll hate you like crazy, but at least you'll win the war if they try and do an independence war. Alright. Then comes Lay. This is a good song. Like it.
Construction completed.
Huh? Oh, the Trent Starbase fully upgrade. Cool. And the synth has finished another city district, which means more artisans. Cool. Well, I'll probably forget about this and go overboard anyways. Let's just put that unemployed pop as an enforcer. 23 enforcers. Definitely not promoting workers. Although, I do have some what? I'll promote a couple of them. All of them. Don't need to have PC on unemployed pops. Got plenty of civilians. Already maxed for minis, which is the main thing they provide without the monument. Some trade value, but this makes for more of unity mainly. Most valuable resource. A most valuable resource, not the most or something. Let's see if I get a great leader of anchor here. On Christmas Day. Be nice. What I want for Christmas is you. Mahan Okada. If all I want for Christmas is good. Planet governor effects. Amenities. Home planet. Entertainers. Oh, this is actually really good for Anchor with its very limited minis. A celebrity priest. A former priest. Now the governor of Anchor. Instead of Gabriel Flores. Let's make the energy situation worse. A little bit less union Anchor. Directly, but probably more science and such from resolving the many situation. Boom. Boom. So updates. 100 entertainers. Comes out of the pops are unemployed by poison civilian industries for another stronghold. No longer an amenity shortage on Anchor. That should reduce crime some.